Hi, my name is Maddie Moffett.
My name is Yiming Liu.
And my name is Allison Rowe.
And for our group project for the Latham Science Engagement Fellowship Program, our project is called Greeks Go Green. And the primary goal of our project was to provide the FSL community with the tools and resources necessary to lead more sustainable and environmentally conscious lives. We wanted to do this by establishing more campus connections between fraternity and sorority life, so fraternities and sororities and their governing bodies with offices like the Office of Sustainability to generate a sort of cultural shift on campus using a large student population. And the reason we wanted to do this was that climate change and environmentalism are definitely very popular hot button issues in science and the general public. So really educating a specific group of students on campus about what we can do to make a better difference on the environment.
So as Maddie said, our audience is composed of students in fraternity and sorority life. And this was an ideal audience for us because they compose 15% of undergrads at the University of Iowa. And we kind of brought in that audience a little bit to focus on Panhellenic chapters and sorority representatives, which we spoke to at a focus group meeting. Our audience is also composed of followers of the Iowa FSL Instagram page. So those are individuals from all 4 councils, chapter Instagram pages, and FSL offices from other universities. And the last part of our audience was the future Office of Sustainability FSL intern. And so for our venue, before the transition to online, we met with our focus group at Van Allen Hall. And part of our venue is also the chapter structures themselves when the focus group reps went out to their chapters and shared our message there. And then our other part of our venue online was the FSL and STEMosphere Instagram pages.
So to go into what our actual project activities and our impact was, like Allison mentioned, we hosted the roundtable with the sustainability chairman from the 5 sororities at the beginning of the semester, where we talked about our project aims and really got some feedback on them on what type of information would be most beneficial to them. We did the FSL Instagram takeover on Earth Day. So we made 4 posts throughout the day, which we have some screenshots from those on the next slide, all culminating in this live Q&A session in which we talked a little bit about some of the problem areas of improvement, and just some general tips summarizing the posts we made earlier in the day. And also we generated the Office of Sustainability FSL Intern Handbook. We also have some screenshots from there containing contact lists, community partners, ideas for community needs, and educational materials. So like I said, we made 4 posts throughout the day. We made sort of an introduction post. Our second post was simple swaps. So here we have depicted, instead of using plastic bags, using reusable bags, things like that. We also did a small business spotlight on Revival, which is a local thrift store in downtown Iowa City to promote kind of turning away from fast fashion and looking into more sustainable thrift shopping. And we also did another post sort of as a reflection, asking people to comment actions that they took on Earth Day in order to make a more sustainable lifestyle. We did post a couple of advertising posts on our story as well, got about 200 views. And here are some screenshots from our intern guidebook, including our cover page, a few of our small business partners, and then also a screenshot of a contact list.
So some lessons that we learned throughout all of this was to have a sustainable outlook to our scientific outreach, and this sort of extrapolates principles from environmental sustainability, where longevity is a really important outcome of our scientific outreach. So we also learned, coming from that impact is a lot more important than immediacy of of an event, and that meaningful impact of a project should take precedence over that immediate event that might entail preaching to a smaller, unenthusiastic crowd and not having the end impact that we really wanted. And we also learned to create partnerships to avoid reinventing the wheel, as Lori says. And we were pleased to find that individuals who are already in the pursuit of meaningful engagement that we were looking for. And we learned to create content which is necessary and meaningful and specific to our goals. So Allison had described our project as this sort of inverted pyramid where we started with this sort of broad goal of promoting environmental awareness in fraternity and sorority life. And that led us to develop partners in sustainability locally, which allowed us to refine our sustainability goals in FSL based on the context and what was feasible with our partners. And that led us to develop a sort of sustainability program for FSL members to follow. And that led us to develop the handbook, which would be used by the FSL Office of Sustainability student intern, which is a position that would be opening up in the next semesters. So in future directions, we would like to continue having the FSL Office of Sustainability internship position, which is an opportunity that has opened up in the Office of Sustainability for a student who's passionate about sustainability. And the intern would be presented with all of our materials and the handbook. So the handbook, as Maddie had described, just contains all of the materials that we've compiled, including a Sustainability 101 workshop, which is a really accessible workshop that can be talked about to promote sustainability within FSL, and a brochure called Reducing Consumption, Our Global Recycling Crisis, some contact lists with our local partners like AmeriCorps and Field to Family, and some contact lists. And so our long-term goal, which is really ambitious, would be to implement recycling in sorority and fraternity houses, since there's no system in place currently. And in the future, organizing events like the sustainability shopping event and educationals to promote sustainability in FSL.
And so finally, we just want to acknowledge all those community partners that have helped us, both in the Fraternity and Sorority Life Office and the Office of Sustainability, along with our local Iowa City partners. And finally, we really just appreciate the opportunities given to us by the Latham Science Engagement Initiative, specifically Drs. Robert and Sue Latham and our instructors.